Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you're having a great week so far, and I hope you're doing well. Just go ahead and leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. This is the best way to help the channel. It's just going to get these videos out to other people. All right, well, let's just get into it today, guys. Let's see what we got today. We are live.
Do you know what's not normal? It's not normal to get up at 6:30 in the morning, to get your kids rushing ready for school, to shove them out the door, to fight with each other, in order for them to go to a place where they're not actually getting educated, they're getting indoctrinated. Do you know what else is not normal? It's not normal to just have a couple of hours with your partner in the evening, after work, when you're tired, when the last thing you've got on your mind is actually, you just want to de-stress and all you do is argue, right? Do you know what else is not normal? It's not normal having to live month to month on a wage, knowing that if one day you were to lose your job, that's it. You'd lose your house, you'd lose your car, you'd lose everything, right? That's not normal. And we've been sold this as a normal way of living, like this is life. That's not life. That's survival. It's literally clutching at straws in order to just get through to the next day. We've been sold this lie, this game, which doesn't benefit us in any way, shape or form. All it does is benefit the people at the top, the owners of the corporations, the billionaires, the people who take advantage of the fact that you don't feel good, that your health is bad, that you feel depressed. So they sell you solutions to your problems in order to make themselves money. And that little bit of money that you have, you spend it on shit to try and make yourself feel better. And all the time, they're just getting richer and richer and richer and richer. And your life isn't changing, because the alcohol that you buy, the nicotine that you buy, the drugs that you buy, the Netflix that you watch, all of these things you do to kind of make yourself feel better don't actually solve the internal problem, which is the fact that life is not meant to be lived in this way. And when you change your life to a life that you actually love, then you don't need the Netflix subscription, you don't need the alcohol, you don't need the drugs, you don't need the nicotine, you don't need the constant fighting with your partner. You have time to spend with your children, you have time to spend with your family, you have time to spend with your partner. You do the things that you enjoy, not the things that you hate, right? But of course, in order to do that, you need to change the mindset of the way that you're thinking. You need to change the things that you do. You need to change how you feel, which is what I've been in the process of doing for the last 2 years, right? And so I want to share with you what I've done. And I've written it all down in a book called The Path to Abundance. Now, you're going to say to me, oh, Philip, well, you're just profiting off trying to, you're just doing the same thing as the billionaires. You're trying to profit off people not feeling good. Yeah, perhaps, maybe. All right. But the book's £7 and it lays out exactly what you need to do in order to change your life to make it the way you want it. Now, £7 is 2 coffees from Costa's. If you can give up 2 coffees from Costa's, you can change your life. What are you waiting for? Click the link in my bio, go download it.
You know, that's the thing. Some people actually do have some good information for you, and whether they make money is irrelevant.
Strange things that happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree? Are they strung up a man? They say we were free. Strange things that happen here, no stranger would it be. We met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree? And call our voice up to you. Strange things that happen to a stranger would be. At midnight in the hanging tree.
How be supposed to feel safe?
Fucking crazy, man.
This is a prison cell. Only kids are being held out here.
And they brought me into the camp and showed me the underground bunker. It was basically a giant plastic container with a hole only small enough for a child to crawl in and out of. And it was angled in such a way, and it was buried underground, that a small child that was in there could not have gotten out on their own.
We live in a demented fucking world, man.
Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why many of these statues from antiquity are missing their hands and feet? I mean, it's not just one, it's many. And if you haven't been down this rabbit hole, I'm about to blow your mind. But let me keep going for just a little bit longer here. Do you think that it is a coincidence that nearly every statue of antiquity is missing their hands? I mean, it's almost as if it were done on purpose.
6 reasons.
Could it possibly be because we have records that told us that there were giant beings that once existed with 6 fingers and 6 toes? The Nephilim. And these were beings that came from the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki were apparently the moon people in native traditions that had come down from the moon to try and help us recreate the world after the flood. Is this starting to sound a little familiar? Now those people, if you want to call them people, ended up mating with the normal people, and they gave birth to the Nephilim. And the Nephilim were the ones who eventually were told to leave. Oh, look, they forgot this one. Now, I'm not claiming to be the one to have originated this research. If you go on the other app, YT, and check out a video from someone named My Lunch Break, he's going to blow your mind even further. Not just with that video, which is episode 113, but go back and watch every single episode. Just do yourself that favor. This world is not what we've been told it is. And if you believe that it has been, you've got a lot more waking up to do. It's worth looking into, I promise. I love you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a lot of waking up to do too. Also, don't forget to check out my other channel, link in the description.
Lady Gaga's out here doing some fallen angel witchcraft now. Everyone's out here using the word abracadabra like it's some silly made-up word, not knowing that it's real witchcraft and comes with real consequences. And it's also why none of us should be listening to this song or watching it, because the lyrics are literally a spell. Take it from this strega. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Lady Gaga has some explaining to do. And here's why. Not only is the imagery very disturbing, giving off satanic ritualistic symbolism all throughout the video, but now here's the kicker. Let me explain exactly what she's saying in this video and how the abracadabra is bringing it into reality and why we should not listen to this song. So where does the word abracadabra come from and what does it mean? Abracadabra originates as a Hebrew language, and it's specifically used in witchcraft. It's actually pronounced Ada Kadabri, and it means I will create as I speak. The universe has one song and one truth. Words cast spells, and that's why it's called spelling. Words are energy. Use them wisely. The cells in your body react to everything that your mind says, to the point where negativity can bring down your immune system. Experts in the occult and witchcraft know this. Did you know that the difference between abracadabra and avada kedavra? It means I will create when I speak, and avada kedavra means I will destroy as I speak. The words come from ancient Aramaic and was said to be used in witch spells. Abracadabra is a powerful spell, especially when used in a triangular mode. But it was also used for good, because when you're writing it downwards, it rids yourself of evil. If you write it upwards, it's for good luck. People from the ancient world used to write it on amulets. Using the triangular form and writing abracadabra within the triangle was actually a self-healing amulet that medics would give to their patients to rid them of their disease and illness. But it can also be used for evil, and here we go back to the video. In the chorus, Gaga chants abracadabra, amorunana abracadabra, morta o gaga abracadabra, abra o nana. In her tongue she said, death or love tonight. Amor meaning love in Latin, and morta meaning death. Explaining the meaning behind abracadabra, with El Gaga said, the song is about facing the challenge of life, and the challenge of the night and finding the magic in it all. But Based on my research and my translations of her song, there's much more of a dark, sinister meaning behind it.
Probably.
She doesn't fool me. The meaning behind her lyrics are, or you love me, or I shall bring death to you. This is why we should not be watching her music video or listening to the song. And if you know anything about the occult, you know I'm right. So no more gaga for me. I did not like this. And no one is going to take it out of my head that she didn't know exactly what she was doing. There's even a deeper meaning to the symbolism in the dress, where she expresses marrying death, almost as if death was an entity. Now one could say this is all artistic interpretation, but still, do we want to marry into death or die if we don't love her? I don't think so. Abracadabra, no gaga. Amor no tu de gaga. Dormentus incendius gaga. Ad retro gaga. And as for other meanings of the word, you can pause and read. But bottom line, she should not have said what she said in that video, and now that you know, you know.
Well, there you go. An ancient Hebrew language. Every single time.
Top of the dental anaesthetic. You can now see that the nanotech is totally destroyed by the nicotine mixture. Dr. Brian Ardis stated that nicotine was the very thing that could destroy nanotechnology. Rafa has confirmed exactly that. Please share this video everywhere. We are now looking at how we can deliver nicotine in the correct dosage in a liposomal form, just like the liposomal and microsomal that we use on the EDTA, which obviously gets rid of the spike protein, shedding, and helps in wax injury. This is life-changing. So to confirm again, what you're seeing here is nicotine steeped in distilled water being placed on dental anaesthetics, and you can literally see the nanotechnology dissolve, be destroyed and dispersed. Obviously, putting this on any platform puts us in danger, as we know, but somebody has to show the solutions to these pollutions. And we are a team of microscopists that don't want to make money out of anybody. We want to give you free solutions. We're not affiliated to tobacco industry or nicotine, but obviously you need nicotine in its purest form. Tobacco and the tobacco industry obviously put harmful substances in that. So you need tobacco at its purest form and nicotine at its purest form. So watch this space on liposomal, on microsomal nicotine.
I wonder if using the patch would deliver a pure form of nicotine, because I've quit smoking a long time ago, and I don't want to start smoking again. I didn't take the shot, but
I'm not sure what year this car is, but it's an old Ford, and probably in the 40s model. If you look at the front logo, you see the new logo from this new reality. But weird thing, if you walk around to the back and look at the back logo on the bumper, look at that. That's the residual reality from the old Ford logo. notice. No hooky, no pigtail.
I think Mandela effects are a mindfuck and a psyop to fuck with you.
Oh, you're gonna love this one, the shampoo conspiracy.
Here
Something
we go.
that you use every day, but do you know who's really behind it and what it's really doing to you? Disclaimer, the ideas presented here are not theories. They're all verifiable facts. So you go over to your local grocery store to do some shopping and you realize you haven't washed your hair in over a month. It's time to clean up. You head to the shampoo aisle and you're met with dozens, maybe even over 100 different options to choose from. Quite the variety, right? Surely you can find a brand that's right for you. Well, my friend, what if I told you that 90% of these shampoos are all owned by the same 3 to 4 mega corporations, all of which have one common top shareholder. This is the shadow shampoo oligopoly, and they're all kind of working against you together. So here are the top 20 or so most popular shampoo brands in America, and they're all owned, or at least partially owned, by these 4 mega corporations. But there's nothing really wrong with that. I mean, these companies are worth hundreds of billions of dollars, so they definitely must put the customer first, right? Oh, my starry-eyed little friend, let me introduce you to a very simple business practice called going public. So when you start a company, you begin as what we call a small business, a little family-owned mom and pop shop that brings some sort of product or service into the world. As you grow, you hire more people, make more money, and produce more incredible products or services to your customers. Now, I'm gonna dumb this down a lot, as there's so much more that goes into this, but I won't bore you with the details. This ain't a business course. But to keep it very simple, eventually most companies who want to make it big hit a wall, where they're not able to grow more because they lack the money required to invest in that next big thing for their business, whether it be more employees, more inventory, new equipment, bigger advertising budgets, etc. So they take out loans, look for sponsors, investors, and venture capitalists to get that money. But sometimes even that's not enough. So in order to get a lot of money really fast, they go public through an IPO, an initial public offering, which basically means their company is now going to be traded on the stock market. Now, being on the stock market means you no longer fully own your own business anymore. You're trading small percentage ownerships in your business called shares to the public in exchange for cash. If that company proceeds to grow and make more money, the value of its shares go up, and the people who bought them make a profit, either through dividends or selling the shares. Now, both people and other companies can invest in publicly traded businesses by buying their shares on the stock market and are called the shareholders. So you gotta realize these companies that go public sorta now have 2 different categories of customers they have to serve. They have the consumers who actually buy their products or services, and now they also have the shareholders who have sort of become customers of the company as well. You following me so far? Now here is where it gets interesting. The regular Joe Schmo shareholders like you and I don't really make much of an impact from our couple $1,000s or whatever that we invest in these companies. What happens is giant investment conglomerates invest hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars into these companies. Investment firms like BlackRock and Vanguard, who sort of become these super mega customers of the companies they invest in. And these companies must now do something called please the shareholder, or else these giant investment firms pull their funding these companies now rely on and put them out of business. Pleasing the shareholder usually means the company now has to get their consumers, that other group of customers they have that actually buy their products, to buy their products or services as often as possible, so they can increase how much their company is worth, known as market cap, by whatever means it takes. Sometimes even to the ultimate detriment of the consumer, so the shareholders stay happy and keep their money in the company. Stock market 101 for dummies. So we went a little bit off the rails just now. Let's dial it back. Oh yes, the shampoo cabal, the 4 megacorps that basically own almost every shampoo product ever, all of which are of course publicly traded companies on the stock market. Let's see who the top shareholders of these companies are, shall we? Procter & Gamble. Oh, look at that. Vanguard. Unilever. Yup, that's Vanguard. And Johnson & Johnson. Well, what do you know? Vanguard. Meaning these companies' top customer isn't the person using their shampoo, but rather $1 trillion investment conglomerate who by definition is literally only concerned with profit. L'Oreal is actually pretty well balanced and are still technically majority family owned by, of course, a $1 billion family, the Betancourts. But you can see their top shareholders are also big investment firms, and oh look, there's Vanguard again. Now, we're not done yet, because pretty much all of these companies have all been involved in major lawsuits due to their shampoos making people's hair fall out, drying out their skin, damaging their hair, and many other reasons. Class action lawsuits that they've resolved through settlements, meaning they basically admitted, yeah, our bad, our shampoo might have done that, so here's some money. But wait just a minute, if their shampoo makes people's hair fall out, doesn't that mean they're gonna stop buying shampoo because they're not gonna have any hair to wash anymore? Well, these same companies also make all the products that allegedly make your hair grow back, hydrates dry scalps, and fixes damaged hair. Nioxin, Procter & Gamble, Rogaine, Johnson & Johnson, you get the drill. Products that are inherently more expensive due to their medical properties and that the consumer will have to buy more often to benefit from its effects. Welcome to pleasing the shareholder. Now, I'm not saying that every publicly traded company is this evil mega corporation that feeds on your soul, but I can tell you, if any of these companies ever have the option between getting a consumer to buy something once in a while versus forcing a consumer to buy a much more expensive product all the f***ing time, you can bet they're choosing that one. And just apply this logic to what happened in 2020 and 2021 and you'll start to notice something. Okay, I'm gonna stop now before I get in trouble. But huge shout out to this legend, Ian Carroll, for bringing this to light. He's the one I learned this from, so definitely him if you want to learn more. At the end of the day, remember to shop local and support small businesses because those are the ones that really do have your back.
And once you understand that it does go beyond the shampoo, and this is practiced in just about every fucking company.
We gotta talk about the corn industry real quick, because Twitter's out here serving ads for this website, but if you notice, they're starting to do reality TV shows with various corn farmers. We'll get back to this in just a second. And if you didn't know, like, most of the corn farms in the world are owned by a single company called MindGeek. But this is actually nowhere near the whole list. This is closer to the whole list, if you wanted to know. I know that none of you actually want to know this, but sometimes ignorance really is bliss, because the truth is kind of weird. This is not made up.
A rabbi.
The company that bought MindGeek is actually called Ethical Capital Partners. And it was co-founded by Solomon, who was called to law following his ordainment as a Jewish rabbi in Israel. And we all know that sexual content has been eking its way more and more into everyone's everyday lives in all sorts of complicated and controversial ways, doing all sorts of messed up things to young people's minds, regardless of your take on things. And this site has seriously changed the landscape. And this is clearly a marketing move designed to change the landscape in a big way. And who's it owned by? Leonid Radvinsky. I'm gonna give you one guess where that name comes from.
Every
He's from
single
Odessa,
time.
Ukraine. And it's just kind of weird that the entire corn industry is owned by people with ties to Israel. And they are explicitly pushing corn content into our everyday lives, merging the boundary between whatever the hell is going on. And corn is one of the most addictive substances ever invented. Like, it's not a simple conversation. Not trying to condemn people for their choices and habits and whatever you do. I'm just pointing out the big picture, and facts are facts. And it's kind of weird. Probably don't think about the implications of that too much, because I don't have to think very hard before those implications lead me directly to this. And how much easier it is to do these types of things to a culture that's filled with these types of influences. If you don't know the definition of the word subversion, you might want to look up the word subversion and maybe COINTELPRO. And if you're a young person watching this reel, just be careful what you let into your brain, because any addictive substance can rewire your brain chemistry forever. And that's why...
No, 100%, he's not wrong there. And once you understand how fucking poisonous that shit is, it is so powerful. It is beyond powerful. It is a baser urge. It is baked into you to want to sexually reproduce, especially in men. When it's offered to you that way, you no longer have to compete for affection. You no longer have to try to change who you are and become a better person to land a mate, when you can just simply self-gratify on many, 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 many websites with many, many, many victims. And it's just that simple. It really is something that has to go in our society, and that's just the long and the short of it. So there was definitely a theme to this episode. I'm trying to shed light on something that I have to do in a very clever way. So, like I said, when you know, you know, and you know it's every single time. And if you don't know what I mean by that, you will. So anyways, that's what I got today, guys. I will be back hopefully again this week. I'm hoping to be back again this week, but it might not be till the weekend. But if not, just come check me out at 80 After Dark. We'll have some fun over there. But until then, 80 Canadian, signing off.